女士们、先生们，即将进行的是精英航运国际乒联世界巡回赛佳兆业2018中国乒乓球公开赛男子单打半决赛。
Ladies and gentlemen, the upcoming competitions are the semifinals of men's singles.
接下来，让我们一起用掌声和欢呼声来欢迎来自韩国的林钟旭。
Jonghoon from Korea.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ITTF Seamaster 2018 World Tour Platinum Kaiser China Open, coming to you live from Shenzhen, China. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobro, and that is Lim Jonghoon from Korea, a surprise visitor in the semi-final. And no surprise at all, Ma Long holding the hand of the ball kid, an adorable hairdo out here, and it is all game face for Ma Long right now. He is Captain Long. He is the dragon. He is the dictator. Daddy dictator to his baby boy, Ma Long, currently world rank number 6. He's 29 years old. Will turn 30 later this year on October 20th. Same day as Liang Jingquin will turn 22. Lim Jonghoon, world rank number 39, but not to be taken lightly. Don't let that world ranking fool you. He beat Xu Xin in a dominant fashion earlier on in this tournament. I'll give you some more specifics about who they beat to get here. Lim Jonghoon in the opening round beat Xu Xin 4 games to 1. Just really incredible performances. In that one, he held Xu Xin to 7-6, 7-6. So despite the one game that Xu Xin won 11-9, Lim Jonghoon holding his opponent to 6.5 points on average. After that, he beat Zhuang Zhiyuan of the Chinese Taipei team 4 games to 1. Beat Lee Song-soo convincingly earlier today, 4 games to 0. Now on Ma Long's side, he started off playing Lin Winru, Team Chinese Taipei. That was 4-0. Now Lin Winru is actually the pride of Taiwan right now, young up-and-coming player. He's very strong, but Ma Long beat him 4-0. After that, Ma Long got through Wang Chuqin of China. 4 games to 1. Beat Liang Jingquin in the 7th earlier today. Very impressive comeback from down 0-2. And we will see. The next test is waiting for him with Kim Tak-soo on camera in the coach's corner. Liu Guozheng, it's not the first time we've seen Liu Guozheng and Kim Tak-soo coaching for players against each other. A very fascinating position to be in. Liu Guozheng saving, I think, about 8 match points in the 2001 World Team Championship against Korea's Kim Tak-soo. Kim Tak-soo so close to sending Korea through to the final to beat China, what would have been a huge upset. 2001, there hadn't been something like that in maybe 13 years. 1988 Olympic Games was an all-Korean final. Those are the coaches. There's Kim Tak-soo, one of the last great one-sided pen holders, J-pen player. Of course, Yu Sung-min, winner of the 2004 Olympic men's singles gold medal. Liu Guozheng, personal coach for Ma Long, who has stepped in to take over the role. A lot of people wanted to know who's working with Ma Long personally. We see Wang Hao with Fan Zhendong. It's Liu Guozheng with Ma Long. So a little bit about the game of Lim Jonghoon. Up, Rachel Ramos, pride of the Philippines, rock star umpire. Sitting on the high chair this time around, and her teammate role reversal. And I'm happy I have the chance to say my friend's name properly. Stefan Wiegand. There we go, that's how it's said in Germany, Wiegand. So I apologize to the Wiegand family for my ignorance before messing that up. We had talked about it. But anyway, Lim Jonghoon, very strong right off the bounce. For a big guy, he doesn't back off the table, and his placement is quite unpredictable. He's very solid in the receive game, and his serve as well. His pendulum serve makes it tough to shut down his third ball attack. So Ma Long, the more clever and experienced of the two players. From a power standpoint, I would say Lim Jonghoon more powerful. From a speed standpoint, Ma Long just a bit faster. So many different ways. It's like looking at video game characters here, really. So many different axes to measure their skills on and how they will battle. Head to head. They've never played before. Ma Long on paper should be the victor here, should be the heavy favorite. Again, it's a rare occasion that Ma Long loses to a foreigner. But one of the 2 last times, it was to a player from Korea with a much lesser world ranking. He didn't have a world ranking at the time, Jonghoon. But the last time he had a world ranking, it was 100 in the world. Lim Jonghoon, world rank number 39. Ma Long clearing the court. Good racket speed. A little bit of football action here. When the racket can't do it, the foot will. Ma Long to start with the serve. Look at this receive. Ball drifts a little long. Lim Jonghoon quite positive. And the backhand too, the step around. Dangerous receives. Now again, it's early, and Ma Long has so many different nicknames. I'd hate to give him another one, but he's like a doctor. There we go, that's one way to avoid it. In the sense that he can diagnose the weakness of the opponent quite quickly.
2, 1.
Long push to the backhand side. Ma Long push. Ooh, gets away with this one. But notice how Lim Jonghoon doesn't back off the table. That mentally creates a different picture for Ma Long. Lim Jonghoon backs off the table, he's no longer dangerous. Yes, he can keep the ball in play more likely, but Ma Long doesn't have to worry about too much if it comes back. If Lim Jonghoon blocks it back while he's near the table, Ma Long really has to make the shot perfect, otherwise he's not going to be able to chase it back down the wide forehand side. There's that backhand. Lim Jonghoon comes into the first towel break, leading 4-2. And whenever you see a score like this, early part of the match, you think Ma Long still analyzing the opponent. Really, he's quite clever, quite adaptable. Oh, beautiful shot.
5-2.
Again, the side spin here from Ma Long takes a softer one from under the table. It kicks out wide to the forehand. Soft, spinny backhand. This one's shallow on the table, so Ma Long plays it slightly passively back. Full extension. Lim Jonghoon coming inside the ball to play it wide.
3-5.
Ma Long from behind the table, giving back a bit of pressure here. I still feel like in that rally, Lim Jonghoon is favored. Sounds weird to say that, but really, with Ma Long behind the table, a little bit more time for Lim Jonghoon.
3,
And he's just so aggressive on top of the table. It's very, very unlikely, again, to have a player so big, so massive, who plays right on top of the table. But again, the quality of the first shot, it was a pretty even battle. Ma Long was the first to get the big shot in here. And Jonghoon has to be very specific with his opening shot. Keep Ma Long a little bit away from the table, keep him a little bit passive. Still 2 points in the lead. Oh, the touch. Ma Long was fooled. He changed his mind, says, oh, it's not coming off, I'll play a touch shot. And was able to keep it inside the table. Where there was once a lead, there is no more. Second towel break, 6 points apiece. Anyone curious what the word unity means?
Hey. 6, 7.
I think that's just going to make the crowd louder. Ma Long's fan club, it's interesting. Different fan clubs have different rules.
Hey.
about how they support their players. Ma Long's fans tend to cheer more when he's behind. They feel that they are needed. That's why you don't hear it so much.
7.
Ma Long's not used to being behind, tends to be out in front. The front runner to win any match. Though earlier today we saw him down 0-2 before he started changing his tactics, getting clever, mixing up his serves, playing a little softer early on.
8.
There's that heavy
7.
underspin serve.
Left. 8. 7.
Ma Long is so fluid with that backhand. Not an easy shot there. Lim Jonghoon plays, watch this forehand over the table. Takes it from early, on the rise. But as soon as Ma Long gets that backhand in, again, it's the quality of the opening shot. Once the rally feels about even, Ma Long quickly takes control. 8 points each. That is a tough way to win a point, but Lim Jonghoon is not stopped. From behind the table, Ma Long gets the first attack and he counters. Again, Lim Jonghoon doesn't like to be behind the table. He's not by that much. A step to 2 steps at most, and he punches back with the backhand. Ma Long nodding his head like, yeah, I got it, okay. Moving on, ready for the next point.
9.
And the plan seemed quick. It is this side of the table, I think, where I've seen more people losing their footing. The side that Lim Jonghoon is on. Ma Long really does dictate. When he wants to play something, he sets you up. You think you've got a strong attack? No problem. Take the first one, but you're going to have to choose from this basket of uncomfortable shots, knowing that I'm waiting on the other side with my backhand.
9. 10.
A bit of a scooping chop-like push from over the table. Ma Long loose with the racket, sliding under the ball. Earns him game point now. Lim Jonghoon with another serve here. Chance to tie it up. Grunts and tries to go down the middle with power and spin. Ma Long takes it back. 11-9, was trailing most of the game. And the dictator up by 1. This is his table. We will see game number 2 coming up right after this. Stay right here.
확실히 머리 써갖고 해봐.
Second game. Lim to serve. Love all.
There it is. Lim Jonghoon, despite having what seemed to be a good grip on game number 1, had it taken out from his hand. Ma Long winning 11-9.
Love 1.
So game 2, Lim Jonghoon starting with the serve, but not the first point. Again, 8 years between them. Lim Jonghoon, 21 years old. Ma Long, 29.
1 all.
Right down the middle, this is what to do when you get a higher ball. Find that crossover point, unless you're confident you can hit it out of reach. Again, the Chinese fans have some of the best cameras I've seen all around the world. And the Chinese fans are all around the world, really devoted to their players. Break off the top of the net for Ma Long. 3-1 lead here. Cup check. Ma Long leaves the racket up in the air. Says, I'm going to guide that back out, give you another chance to hit the ball again. As strong as this opening is, countered once, blocked back, slowly just recoils his racket. I guess in some senses, while it looked like swag, he was just staying in position to wait for him to keep his racket high in case he gets another blast of a shot back that he wants to counter with a short stroke. Very difficult way to win a point. Hangs in there for a shot longer than most, but giving Ma Long the first attack. Soft flip to the middle. That bending backhand just doesn't quite get the contact he wanted, Lim Jonghoon. Shot block attempted. No dice here. It's funny, people like to know what the players are saying to themselves. If you don't speak Korean, it might be tough to do the lip reading, even if you do. Oh, after all that, Ma Long gets the tough ones back. Then finds a sponsorship sticker on the net. But of course, to keep it real, every shot here against Lim Jonghoon is so difficult, especially when he's attacking. See in the replay the speed, the arc of the ball. Inside out forehand, Ma Long getting low to play that ball, bending out wide. Right back, parallel for parallel. Ma Long. I'm just sitting here shaking my head in disbelief at how he's able to do some of these things. People who dominate the sport, people that go down as the greatest of all time. At this point in time, many would say that the most dominant player the world has ever known in men's table tennis is Ma Long. Again, different than the generation Victor Barna, of course, that most people watching this have not even been able to see in video form.
3-10.
But 64 months at world #1, 34 consecutive months, and Ma Long now with 7 game points. Slow and spinny with the forehand, fast off the bounce with the backhand. 11-3, it's a 2-0 lead for Daddy Dictator. We'll be back for game number 3 right after this. for game number 3.
Third game.
Ma Long
Must
leading
serve
2 games to 0
love
over Lim
full.
Jonghoon. Game number 1, Lim Jonghoon making quite a case for himself, but game number 2 seemed a lot more one-sided. The scoreboard told no lies in that one. It reminds me a little bit of how Timo Boll last year would lose the first game quite a bit. His first encounter with Tomokazu Harimoto on the World Tour, and then come back to turn it around quickly.
Love 2.
Lim Jonghoon on the chase here, Ma Long controlling the table. Yeah. Yeah.
1, 2.
It's funny, the world watches Ma Long play. And table tennis players around the world want to know what it feels like to play against Ma Long. The amount of levels between a tournament player and Ma Long.
3, 1.
It's like a dog whistle to a dog whistle to a dog whistle. It's just so many octaves out of your hearing range that it's tough to even comprehend the level of Ma Long. Once again, that tongue of frustration comes out from Lim Jonghoon.
Hey. 4, 1.
You remember how strong the receives were from Lim Jonghoon in game 1? He got several points early on and throughout game 1 just on the receive. Ma Long has changed things up a bit.
1, 5.
Again, I'm shaking my head. You've got a parallel receive ripped off the bounce, and Ma Long is right there to counter. Watch one more time. Pendulum serve. Appears to be light rotation. Ma Long's just there waiting. Hit me as hard as you can. You take the first shot, go ahead. This one left a little bit awkwardly out in front. Nice change of rhythm here from Lim Jonghoon. Good cover of the middle. Ma Long, when he finishes that shot from the middle, it looks like he had it planned the whole time. He's perfectly balanced when he finishes the shot.
6, 2.
Getting ready for that chop block. No shot needed at all. That's the power.
6, 3.
Again, on top of the bounce, Lim Jonghoon in game number 1. The difference between their positioning, Lim Jonghoon was able to make a high percentage of shots so loose like that right off the bounce, and it's a parallel shot to boot. Ma Long pulls him from the back of the table, wraps around, plays it down the line. That was neat. Some rackets in the crowd, some giant racket fan club signs. Oh, Ma Long waiting, just waiting there. In the touch game, I can do this all day long. You take the first attack, let's see. Guides it forward. So fast to turn. Side and top spin. Can't even catch it with that claw of a right hand. I mean, it's a fine right hand. He was just making a claw movement. Snake followed by a lob. Power. It comes down. Oh, the jumping shot. Head out of frame, ball out of frame. Crowd loving it. Kim Tak-soo. I mean, of course, this player has to win this point. A drop shot. Look at the kick on it. Ma Long quickly back in position. Will it come down? He's watching like Waldner in an exhibition. That was the please come down, please curve back, please curve back. Second towel break, a 4-point lead for Ma Long.
9-4.
The same step around in game one was getting through. Interesting, interesting. Again, the camera angle pretty close to the player there, so you have an idea of if the ball does disappear. A lot of players, the ball falls behind the head. Lobs the other way. No, it does not come down. So 6 game points for a 3-0 lead. Oh, the forehand flipped wide. Malong was right there waiting to counter it back. Really, it's like he was emailed ahead of time. He just knows. He's got a 7th sense. He sees dead people, and he knows where your shot is coming. He has them all. Malong, stay right here. Game number 4 coming up right after this.
부담이 되죠. 길게 쓰니까. 또 이렇게 들으니까 모션도. 그게 아마도 좋은 경험이니까 해봐. 헛포인트가 계속 딴 거죠.
Fourth game, Lim to serve, love all.
So despite having the lead in game number 1, a very strong Lim Jonghoon with a bright future ahead of him, who took out and knocked out Xu Xin from not only this tournament, but the Japan Open as well. Next week, has scored only a total of 7 points in the last 2 games. This is what being a dictator is all about. Saying how it goes, not giving the opponent a choice.
1-0.
Dear opponent, your freedom is an illusion. Kind regards, Ma Long. Just so fast to turn on that middle. See where the racket is from the start of that point. Out in front. Held up. Neutral. High.
The
first 4 points are split evenly here. Lim Jonghoon has the serve now. Although the advantage wasn't huge in the last 2 games. See if he can take better advantage of it and set up a third ball attack here.
2-3.
Now Ma Long doesn't need to extend the rally, but if he can't attack it, he can confidently and patiently wait and extend that rally, knowing that the advantage goes to him as long as his quality touch shots are there, and they have been. A relaxed player is much better, I would say, at playing touch shots. It's tough to be tight and tense and play it softly. Oh, just missing the shot. Again, there's a sense of freedom right now in Ma Long to play these touch shots. Watch this, comes back very awkward, short on the table. Just leaves it with side spin and tries to go for a finishing inside-out forehand. Doesn't miss by much. Again, this is the Ma Long that creates crazy chop blocks, fading forehands. Seems like he can do just about anything he wants when he's free. The backhand deep to the backhand corner. One point lead for Ma Long. Opening shot here from Lim Jonghoon. Ties it back up. Now remember the stat I told you earlier from Ma Long's coach before, Qin Zhijian, his career coach. Ma Long in his career as a professional has never lost from up 3-0 in his life.
5-4.
Much like Xu Xin had never lost to a chopper in his life until Ma Te beat him recently in the Chinese Super League. While Lim Jonghoon is definitely not the favorite to come back and win this, it would be a historical and epic comeback.
4-6.
It's also a fine balance between looseness, confidence, and getting a little bit too relaxed. After all, Lim Jonghoon proved dangerous in game number 1. Came dangerously close, but since then it's never been the same. Ma Long stepped on the scene.
4.
There's that cracking backhand again, 3-point lead. Not safe, encouraging, yes. 7-4 against Ma Long. In game number 7 wasn't enough. Yuya Oshima, a few years back. It was 2015, I believe, at the China Open. Almost comes back to the corner. Second towel break, Ma Long within 2. He's creeping around this corner, literally here, but figuratively on the scoreboard. I mean, Yuya Oshima, I don't have to single him out. It just happened to be the 7-4. Timo Boll had 2 gigantic leads on Ma Long earlier this year. And even in the fishing game on the back end, Ma Long dangerous. It's not just this shot, though. It's not that these shots are incredible quality. Yes, they're outstanding, but for Ma Long, it's the danger that's waiting on the next ball that means Lim Jonghoon has to play such a perfect shot to really stay in control of that rally. Wasn't able to do it. Oh, covers the middle with a break off the edge. Lim Jonghoon hangs on to. That's a big point here. It's the difference between 7-7 after being up by quite a bit and having a 2-point lead at the business end of the game, or at least getting there. Backhand to backhand, Ma Long quick off the bounce. He's within 1 once again. The line was there, clever idea. Ball just long and Ma Long right back even. Second one a little bit awkward, comes back, breaks the rhythm for Ma Long. Lim Jonghoon back in front. Let's see if we can see it one more time here. Really identify what it is. Backhand looks a little bit flatter on the second one. Oh, that shot doesn't come back. Lim Jonghoon with the rocket power. It's been a while since we've seen that shot really come in with authority. That's Cartman for authority. 10 points to 8, Lim Jonghoon leads. Ma Long down 2 game points, has the serves on his side. Will he allow a glimpse of hope? You could see that wry head nod there of, needed to win one of those last 2 points, at least. We'll see.
9-10.
Tough indeed. Nerves of steel. We've seen it before from Ma Long. For Ma Long, it doesn't even look like a hard
9,
drill.
10.
Just so smooth in that backhand. The placement, it's like mind games. He controls you. And they continue under hypnosis. Lim Jonghoon, you are getting very, very sleepy. Ma Long just waving his racket back and forth. Tick, tock, tick, tock. I think the Cho was the biggest indicator that there was any pressure at all for Ma Long, other than the scoreboard. His play wouldn't show it, that's for sure. Heavy underspin back again, another game point for Lim Jonghoon. In the timeout, Kim Tak-soo will have a little conversation with his protege, his 21-year-old world rank number 39, Lim Jonghoon. Now, I know I'm not the only one who loves table tennis and loves sitting around with fellow table tennis fans and players talking about the game, the future of it, where countries stand, and who the top players are. There's no question about the Chinese domination, but thinking about the big rivals, the ones following from Germany and Japan, I should say Japan, Germany, and Korea. The Korean men's team right now with some strong up-and-comers between Jung Young-sik and Lee Sang-soo leading the squad, despite Jung Young-sik on injury coming back a little bit, dipped in the world rankings, still quite strong. You've got Jang Woo-jin, Lim Jonghoon, Cho Sung-min. A solid team moving forward for Korea. Really all you need is two top players to take a world team championship. Waldner and Persson obviously had a strong supporting squad, but stood out for some time. Irrelevant to this match right now, Ma Long is behind. He's already saved 2 game points. Curious what the conversation with Lu Guojung is. Watch out for that backhand out wide to the forehand side. Keep it deep to the forehand, possibly. Lim Jonghoon is a left-handed player. Despite being tall and having the wingspan, loosens up the wrist there, dries off the palm. Is susceptible, is vulnerable
10,
to that wide forehand shot early in the rally.
Let 10, 11.
Oh, it goes long. Lim Jonghoon breaks free from hypnosis, takes a game. He's got one on the scoreboard. 12-10, he survives to see a 5th. Did Ma Long allow this to creep in? Well, fighting indeed. Lim Jonghoon making a case here. We'll see game number 5. Lim Jonghoon versus Ma Long coming up right after this.
이거 준비가 안 되니까 흐트러지잖아. 근데 걸고 양쪽에 온다 생각하고 미들로는 잘 안 물잖아, 제가 지금. 양쪽 하나 기다려주고. 오케이? 그리고 이거 들어가려다 보이면 놓고 안 뜨면 무조건 붙어. 짝도 뻗고 올라가고 이렇게 돌리고 한다고. 아니 거기서 그냥 미들 같은 거 주고 또 나오면 또.
Fifth game, Ma to serve, love all.
Rachel Ramos said it. Game number 5. Ma Long has dropped a game here. Or another way of putting it, Lim Jonghoon has earned his first game in game number 4.
1, love.
The deep push from Ma Long. Mixing it up a bit, element of surprise. I think last week's Hong Kong tournament, there were so many upsets between Lim Jonghoon, Cho Sung-min, Kazuhiro Yoshimura. It's always interesting to see how they do against the top in the world.
Love.
Speed and placement. Specifics from Ma Long, enough to take the second point of the game as well for a 2-0 lead.
Love, 2.
Just think about how much control you have to do to hit the ball back down into the table with that much spin right to the server. Really, it's like the world has been flipped on its head when you're hitting it straight down into the table. Maybe that's not perfect, but either way, it's just one more demonstration of the genius that is Ma Long. Burned. Bottle challenge serve. Ma Long so fast, he's already stepped around for the opening forehand attack down the line. Really, he's everywhere when you think he's not there. Whoa. Pretty graphic tongue move there from Lim Jonghoon. No questions about his expressiveness. I think he's hungry for a comeback. Nothing satisfies the appetite like a good old comeback when you're down 0-3. Now 1-3 for Lim Jonghoon. Score-wise, Ma Long doesn't appear to be loosening up his grip at all. Short side of the table and it floats long. Best towel break you can ask for the first towel break. Flawless start, no mistakes from Ma Long. Here we go from under the table. Lim Jonghoon earning his first point. I was going to say Ma Long makes no mistakes, but make no mistake, he has been beaten before by a Korean player in the last 2 years of his life.
7-1.
As I mentioned earlier, a player with a lower world ranking, a non-existent world ranking at the time, Jung Sang-un. Granted, that was a best of 5. T-Mobile, the last player I can think of to beat Ma Long in a best of 7. Also the most recent non-Chinese player to beat him.
8-1.
That's interesting. He was holding the racket up straight. Caught the edge of the racket. Again, very expressive out here in his tough times right now.
1-9.
This reminds me, Robert Gardoche had a lead against Ma Long. What, 2-1? Ma Long came back in a best of 5. Had a mercy point in game number 5. Well, there's a backhand.
9.
Backhand to remember. Although if Ma Long ends up winning this game 11-3, I don't think he has to pay too much attention to that backhand right now. In the coming years, maybe. Chop block and the touch game. Lim Jonghoon leaves it back on the table, but Ma Long not bothered. After all, he created that spin. Tough to surprise the creator in this. Dictator with 8 match points. Ma Long all the way through, 11-2. He made him angry in game number 4. And you saw what happened. Beast mode, Ma Long, the dragon. Captain Long Daddy Dictator dictates once again, 11-2. And we'll meet. It will be the clash of the titans, Fan Zhendong Xiaopang versus Ma Long in the men's singles final tomorrow. The match that the world wants to see no matter what country you're from. It is the 2 best players in the world at the moment who will fight for the title of this Platinum World Tour event. What a day it has been, and what a pleasure to watch this play. Lim Jonghoon incredible in game 1 and in game 4 as well. But Ma Long just a head above the rest right now. The only one close is Fan Zhendong, and head-to-head, Ma Long is 12-1 on the international stage. Only one time has he lost to Fan Zhendong. So we will see what happens. As the tournament continues, tomorrow's the final day. We look forward to having you back 6:30 local time. But first, an interview with Daddy
tomorrow
Dictator.
You'll be playing against the world #1, which for many years had been you. So how do you think about this? 明天呢，你要和世界排名第1的选手对决。那世界第1呢，这个好多年呢都是你的称号，所以不知道对这个事儿呢你怎么看？
我觉得这很正常嘛。现在以樊振东能力排名世界第1，我觉得不奇怪。然后，明天对到世界排名第1，只能去，我知道也是一场非常艰苦的比赛吧，所以希望自己能够尽自己最大努力。
Ma says it's very common for Fan to be the world #1 because he's a very excellent player and he will try his best to win the match tomorrow. Congratulations, thank you very much. 好，谢谢。
谢谢，让我们再次响起掌声送给马。
Well, you heard it, Ma Long, a humble, hard-working, and diplomatic man, pays credit to that of Fan Zhendong, the world #1. Well, we will see world #1 versus world #6, but quite frankly, the 2 best players on earth tomorrow battling for the men's singles title, along with the other finals we have. Women's doubles, men's doubles, women's singles, and men's singles. The last day of action tomorrow, local time 6:30. And until then, we'll see you tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. Catch you then.